everyone, I'm here with one of my favorite clients, Colleen. She owns a successful Medspa. Last month, we helped her do $94,000. And a few months ago, before she started working with us, she was doing around $25,000. So she went all the way from around 25K to 94K a month just in about 3 months. She does amazing at sales and the consultation, so I really wanted to interview her on two things. One, on a consultation process, the exact consultation process that she and her team use, and also wanted to view her on her hiring process, because I know you have a bunch of technicians, Colleen, and you do amazingly well at hiring and finding the right people. So I really wanted to learn more about your business and everything that you learned throughout the years. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Again, thank you so much for joining me, Colleen. To get started, could you maybe introduce yourself for like 2 minutes? Tell us about like your background. How did you even get like into the med spa business to start with?
Well, that's kind of a long story, but I'll shorten it down. I was actually a teacher for 17 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
then, yeah, I had gotten into sales with a skincare line and just kind of on the side, doing a little on the side just to kind of bring a little extra money. I three little kids, hoping it would, help with groceries or daycare or something, take some bill off of our plate. And that really exceeded my expectations. And pretty soon I was making more doing that than I was teaching. So for a few years, I just continued to do that. And then I was kind of like, well, what else could I start? So
Mm-hmm.
that's really where I kind of jumped into the med spa industry. I was getting a little older myself and trying to figure out how to kind of reverse some of that aging and try to stay a little younger looking for as long as we can. So I kind of got into that field
Mm-hmm.
through that route. And then with that, we added the body contouring treatment and our business just exploded. So we just kind of have been growing since then. And then, found you guys just a few months ago, and it's more than doubled since we found you guys. So it's been kind of a crazy journey. I never really thought when I was teaching that I would end up in this space, but I'm glad I did.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's quite a journey. That's quite a journey. And I would love to know, and I'm sure people watching would love to know too. Again, you do amazing at the consultation, and not just you do amazing. I know you have a lot of technicians, a lot of estheticians, and they do very well at consultations. You are selling a lot of packages, and the patients really love you, and they love your team, and they love the clinic. Can you walk us through like from A to Z, like your consultation process?
Sure. Yep. So obviously, you guys book the clients for us, and then once they come in, we start the conversation with them. We have them fill out our intake form, kind of talk about all of their goals and needs.
Mm-hmm.
We do have more than just the treatment that we're actually advertising for. So there's a lot of times someone will come in and we determine that one of our other treatments is better for them, which we just, we're very flexible and just switch them over to that treatment for the promo price. Um, but the consultation is really just information up front, kind of what the treatment will do, what they can expect, kind of the process of how it works, and all of that. So they go through all of that with the client. They answer any of their questions. It's pretty quick. We really only talk to them for about maybe a couple of minutes, and then we get started and we kind of finish the consultation once they're getting the treatment done.
Mm-hmm.
So if you kind of go through everything before they have the treatment, sometimes it might be overwhelming or too much. So we just kind of go really briefly into what it is, get them on the table, start the treatment, and then we really dive into what are their exact goals, how many treatments it's going to take for them to reach those goals. And we don't even talk about price at that point. We just kind of go
Mm-hmm.
over what it is they're looking for and how many it will take for them to achieve that. After if obviously if they ask during the treatment, we tell them we use your strategy, which has worked out great. We tell them the strategy of it's 500 for an individual session. However, if you purchase three today, you get three free, or if you purchase five, you get five free. And that has definitely helped. I think it's just the mentality of they're getting that much more for free. So a lot of times if they ask when they're on the table, we'll talk about it. Otherwise, we wait until they're done and we say, how did you feel today? What did you think about it? Most of them will be like, I already feel different, so they're already getting that satisfaction, that gratification. And then we go into, well, we're running a promo right now. If you decided to go forward with the package, like we talked about, it would be, buy three, get three free for 1,500. And so that's really how we run the consultation. Everybody is a little bit different, but they all follow that same guideline. And it's obviously with our numbers jumping up, worked out very well for us.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. So one of the things you said, which I really like, I want to emphasize important. You do the consult while doing the treatment, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, and a lot of times, so I think it's two things. Like I said, they're actually experiencing it while you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
it. They don't make a decision beforehand whether or not they want to have it done. So they're actually getting it and feeling what it's like. And it also takes a lot less time because you're doing the two things at once. At
Mm-hmm.
the beginning, one of our girls was doing like a full consultation before the treatment, and then was sometimes running out of time to do the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So by doing them both at the same time, it solves several problems.
Awesome, awesome. I love it. So that's great. And also, I'm sure it's very nice because it gives time to the technician, the esthetician, the consult to spend more time with the patient, to build more trust, build more rapport. So you have like a very
Yeah.
long time to go over the consultation and really build trust with them, which I think it's amazing. The second thing you said, which I really like, is giving them like, hey, like if you buy today, you get like a few more sessions free, giving them like a bonus, which is like a very high perceived value for the package. It's something we always recommend, and that seems to work great. Any other like tips or things you learned throughout the years about the consults, things that you know now that you wish, for how many years have you been in with the business?
7. We're doing it
Oh
7.
wow. Okay. So what are like
Yeah.
other things about the consults that you know now that you wish you knew 7 years ago?
I will say 100%. You kind of touched on this a minute ago. It's getting to know the client. So if you can build a rapport with them, I mean, they come out and most of the time they're like best friends with the technician, and that
Ah.
just really, they trust them. We're honest with them. We don't tell them they're going to get results. They're not going to get results. We're very transparent. If we think it won't work, we won't sell them the package. So
Mm-hmm.
I think building that rapport, and just getting to know the person. I mean, they know their whole life story by the time they come out. So I think that's probably one of the biggest
Mm-hmm.
things. In the past, I've had people who are very reserved or very quiet, which is totally fine. But it was harder for them to connect with their clients, and it
Mm-hmm.
showed, kind of in their sales. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a huge piece of it.
Yeah, it definitely helps. Do you do anything before the consult, or or the first point of touch is when they arrive, the technician welcomes them and then goes over the form with them? That's the beginning.
So to be honest, that's pretty much like we contact them ahead of time to make, just to kind of say hi and we'll see you tomorrow or whatever.
Okay.
I was sending out a questionnaire sheet before, but I think that because you guys do such a good job with contacting them constantly to make sure they're coming in,
Yeah.
that it was almost too much with me sending out
Yeah.
more. So yeah, we kind of just touch base with them. And then once they come in, it's kind of our full initial contact
Awesome.
with them. Yeah.
And you go over the consent form in the beginning with all of the contradictions and all of that. You go over in the beginning of the appointment.
Yes, we
Okay,
do
nice.
send that to them ahead of time so that once we switch it over to an appointment, that does go out to them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably 50-50. Some will fill them out ahead of time and
Okay.
some will do it when they come in.
Okay, nice. Awesome. Awesome. Anything else you want to share about the consultation process that you feel like really helps that you do or some of your team does? You don't like if nothing comes to mind, that's okay, Colleen.
So
If
say,
nothing comes to mind.
I think I covered most of it.
Okay, okay, that's awesome. And when you get like things like kind of like objections, like I want to think about it or I want to talk to my husband, how do you usually react when these things come up during the consult?
So we will usually we're not overly salesy, so
Yeah.
we're pretty laid back. We're like, okay, yeah, absolutely talk to them. Just so you know, let us know by tonight or you'll lose out on that promotion. So we kind of still give them that
Mm-hmm.
timeline. And then we will follow up with them later in the day and just say, hey, did you get to
Mm-hmm.
chat with your husband? How are you feeling about it? How'd you feel after the appointment today? So we don't have a ton of that, but we
Yeah.
will have people say that.
Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate it. Do you also show them like any visual tools like before and afters or so on during the consult?
Yep, absolutely. So if it's, their stomach or their legs, we will pull up a couple of pictures and show them. Um, Usually that's sufficient. We have a couple of times people will say, well, can I see more? So, we'll go through all the pictures we have. But yeah, showing them the before and after of the body area they're looking for is really important.
Nice, awesome. And do you also like try to go over like about like their deeper motivation, like their pain points, their goals as well?
Yeah, so we do that while they're on the table. We'll talk about, like we said, their goals, what exactly they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're very honest. We're like, this is not a tummy tuck. This is what it will do for you. So we go through all of that and we talk about how many it's going to take to get to where they want to be. Um, and we kind of shoot for the higher one because we want them to have good results. And if they don't
Yeah.
have good results, it's not a good reflection on us. So we do shoot for those higher packages, and some will go for that, and some will go down to the lower package. We also
Mm-hmm.
have them while they're on the table. We have them scan the QR code for the third party payment options. So
Nice.
they'll know ahead of time what they qualify for and if they qualify. So that helps them to make a decision, before they get to the,
Nice.
the desk to check out. Yeah.
Awesome. Have you find the financing to help a lot or?
Yeah. I would say, some people don't want to use it. They just want to, pay them full and be done.
Mm-hmm.
But those who are on the fence or those who are deciding between two packages is
Mm-hmm.
kind of where that third party payment option definitely comes into play.
Mm-hmm. Nice, awesome. And one thing I want to touch again back on, you said like you found like using like our tip, our pricing method for like having a bit higher prices per session, but telling them like, hey, if you do buy a package, we'll give you like more sessions free. That's something you've only started like doing recently in the last few months?
Yeah, so we always did. We always ran an ad, and if they came in, if they did the package, we would give them that one for free.
Yeah.
So it was still the same amount. They were still paying 1,500 for six, but
Mm-hmm.
we would give them that initial one for free.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the same thing. We just switched up the terminology a little bit, and our close rate went up a lot.
Oh, nice. Oh, it
Yeah.
went up a lot?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. Like I'm happy to hear that. So that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. It's been great.
Awesome.
Very
I'm
helpful.
happy. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. Kinda continuing. I want to talk more about kind of like your team and your hiring because like you do amazing with your team. How many technicians do you have? Five, six?
We have six now.
Not including you.
Right.
Oh wow, that's quite a team.
Yes. Let me double check because I gotta count and make sure I'm right. Let's see.
Yeah,
One, two,
I do
three,
think we
four.
have
Yep,
six because
six.
when we checked on your calendar, that was on our end. Awesome.
Yep.
Um, Now the first thing I wanted to kind of go over, like I'm really curious, Colleen. That's the most impressive things. What I'm gonna say now. So obviously you're doing very well. Last month, your Medspa did $94,000 with only two treatment rooms, right?
Yes.
How do you utilize each room for maximum efficiency with only two rooms? If you can share some more information about that, because doing like 94K a month with just two rooms, it's very impressive.
Yeah, it's been an adjustment. So we have obviously our two rooms, and I have them staggered. So they're both running now at the same time. I'm still working on schedules to get like we could be even more efficient. Like initially I kind of let the girls pick their own schedules, and now I'm kind of saying, well, we kind of have to shift because if we can fill two rooms all day long, that's what we need to be doing, and that's what we need to have our hours reflecting. So like today, for example, on Mondays, I only have one girl in the morning where that's a whole half a day that I could be booking the other room.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that amount with only two rooms, and they're not even both utilized all day long. So we're working on that. It's still a work in progress. But other than that, like when I do have two girls available, we're filling both rooms, and they they are always full, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. Nice. So you do like each treatment for like around like 45 minutes or 1 hour each, like on the clock.
So we were blocking an hour for every treatment, and we now block 45 minutes. We do an hour for our initial ones. So
Yeah. Oh, you're on mute. You're excellently on mute. There you
sorry.
go.
So we do the initial one for an hour just to make sure we get, the full consultation. And then our follow-up ones, we're just booking for 45 minutes. So it is helping us to squeeze in a lot more clients
Mm.
throughout the day.
Nice. So you do them like 45 minutes, like exactly each one to try to make to have no gaps in between?
Yes. Yep.
Nice. And you find like enough time for the treatment.
Absolutely. Yep. So
Nice.
yeah, because they're, once they're in there for their second treatment, they just get in, hop up on the table, and they start.
Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. I love it. And again, you have a really, really good team. I think one of the challenges, like with the Medspa, is like trying to have team members, technicians, estheticians who are as good as you in sales or even better. You know, it's really hard to find these people. Can you share with us like some of your tips, strategies, your mindset for hiring the right people, especially for also like having like good consultants, like people like you can trust, you know, you can trust people who are reliable and are also good at sales.
Yeah, so that is probably the hardest part because
Yeah.
um we're really big on like our culture. So you have to fit in with our culture, or I don't care how good you are at sales or, anything else. So number one, it's finding people that really fit with us. There's no drama. We just don't have any of that
Mm-hmm.
here because you're here for the client. You're here to
Mm-hmm.
be honest with them. We're all here to work together. So finding the people that kind of fit with that first is key for me. The rest of it we can train. Like we can train you on how to do the treatments and everything else. And if you fit with us personality wise, then most likely you're going to be decent at sales because everybody goes out and says, I'm not a salesperson. Well, selling is just talking about something you believe in and you
Mm-hmm.
know being social about it. So
Yeah.
we have them come in. If they fit with us, great. Then we have them come in. We do the treatments on them. We have them experience it. All my technicians can do all services here for free whenever they can fit it in, because I want them to believe in the treatments,
Yeah.
know what they're about, know how it feels, so they can really talk to the people about it. Um, I used to kind of be like um, a little bit judgmental, like thinking most of our clients are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, that come in for the treatments. And I always kind of thought like, well, how could a younger girl fresh out of school really talk to an older person about their bodies, because they don't,
Mm-hmm.
really understand kind of, they have gone through all the metamorphosis that happens as you get older. And I was totally wrong. So I have people, that work here in their 40s, and I have two girls that are both 21, and they are incredible. They can talk to people, they're confident, they understand how the treatment can help. So it's been amazing. I've learned that lesson. That it's anybody can fit in, anybody can learn how to do it, if they, kind of mesh with your crew.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Colleen. When you say like
Yeah.
you really want to make sure they're a culture fit, can you elaborate? Like, what do you mean by being like what like how do you know if they're the right like culture fit?
Okay. So example, I have friends who work in the industry in other
Mm-hmm.
places, and they're like, oh my gosh, if I don't sell $250,000 this month, I get called into the office. Or there's all of that high pressure sales. And I think that creates a um, kind of a stressful work environment, number one. And then
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you're competing to get clients because you've got these marks to hit. So we don't have that here. I mean, we do now, since we've kind of started with you. I do track more, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, you guys, our goal this month is to hit, we did 94,000 last month. We want to hit 100,000 this month. And, like I'll put in our group chat, like, holy cow, so and so closed 4 packages yesterday and brought in
Yeah.
$8,000. So we do kind of more of that stuff rather than, you
Like
know,
positive reinforcement instead of a negative one, yeah.
right, right. And our environment is very warm. Like when I first started going to a med spa, 15 years ago, I remember walking in and it was like cold, and everybody had white lab jackets on, and it wasn't a warm, welcoming environment. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just not like that here. People walk in the door and everybody's like, hello, and we all know everybody's name, and talk to them about their day when they're sitting here waiting with us. So it's just more of a friendly, we're all in the same boat. We all have our
Mm-hmm.
insecurities. We're just here to help you, work through some of those insecurities and make you feel better. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the environment we go with. So, it can kind of tell someone's personality when they come in to interview, like kind of if they fit with that or they don't. and
Mm-hmm.
they're just right for some other place, not ours, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of our number one thing for our culture. And like I said, being honest, like we're not, again, not having that quota you have to hit means people aren't going to sell something that isn't going to work, because if you have that
Mm-hmm.
high stress, you don't really care if it's going to work with a client or not. You got to hit your goals.
Yeah.
So you're going to sell them as much of everything that you possibly can. And
Mm-hmm.
we would rather be honest and tell them what they need and work with them to achieve that and just kind of uh, be human about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, Colleen. And if you, let's say you need to hire more people right now, where do you usually find technicians from? What are your sources you usually go to?
Well, that's where I'm in right now because in 2 months we'll have another room open up. So I'm like, oh gosh, I would be honest, I hate the hiring process. It's stressful. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Are you going to find the right person? So I will probably first put it out on my social media to see who knows somebody that might want
Mm-hmm.
to join our crew. And I typically I can put it on Indeed and get some pretty good responses. So
Mm-hmm.
that process will probably start in a couple weeks.
Awesome, awesome. Good luck. Well, I do think you're pretty much fully booked for the next few weeks because of us. So we do I know Lily and I we always try to get you to open up more rooms, more availability, move to a bigger spa. Let's get 6 treatment rooms, But definitely hope we can get some more technicians join with the third room. That would be great. And what is your once you do hire somebody and you feel like they're a great culture fit, what is your training process for them?
So we're pretty laid back here. So we have them obviously come in, we go through all the paperwork and all of that. And then we'll have one of our head technicians kind of take them through all the different services. We do
Mm-hmm.
them on them. We have online training they do first. So once they do the online, then they come in and they just really get hands-on. Like I said, we'll do it on them. We'll have them do it on us. We'll have them
Mm-hmm.
shadow appointments for a couple of weeks if they need to. It's really until they feel comfortable. Um, and then they're on their own.
Okay. So I guess the biggest thing for you, it sounds like all of your processes, both for for the consultation and for your hiring, it's very simple. And it seems like the most important thing for you is the personality of the technician. Because you feel like the most important thing is to make sure you have somebody who's very like trustworthy and very social, kind of like
Yep,
this thing, kind of have a good personality, somebody like enjoy talking to people, and you feel like as long as you do have somebody who's very reliable, you can trust them, very honest, very good culture fit, and also very social and talks to people and good at building trust with them. Kind of as long as you have that, you feel like all of the other parts are gonna get a lot easier. Is that right?
absolutely. Yep. Yeah. And honestly, it's the ones who will ask questions, like can you help me with this? Or I don't understand this. Like, I love that because it tells me they care and they want to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always like, don't be afraid to blow up my phone with questions and wanting to know more things and how you can do things better. I love when they come with suggestions or like, have you ever thought about trying this? Like
Mm-hmm.
to me, then I'm like, I just found, you know, the gold mine with this one because they're
Mm-hmm.
thinking and they want to help grow the business and
Mm-hmm.
come with, creative ideas too.
I see. So it's not you feel like you just really want to make sure you have the right person, because that way you feel like the training is going to be easier, and you feel like they're going to do so good in the consults, and kind of I'm really trying to again see your thinking process with the business. So it sounds like for the consult because some of our clients, some other the Medspa we work with, they are very technical, or they have 12 steps for they have 17 steps for the consult, or they are very try to follow things by the book. But I feel like for you it's a lot more laid back, and it's a lot
Yes.
more just focus on building trust and connection with the patient, and that, and have a really good offer, or the really good offer like the free bonus treatment, 5 more free sessions if they buy today. Just have that and have a really good consultation process, really talk to them, try to build trust, and then if you just do that, everything else will follow along, everything else will happen. It sounds like it's a lot more
Yeah.
simple and kind of laid back. approach
Yes.
compared to like some other clinics. Like very simple.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right or wrong. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but that's how we do
Yeah.
it.
I
It's
mean, that
working.
works. I mean, as long as it works and the patients are happy, like that's all that matters, right?
Yeah.
And I do think it's good. I don't think like it's good. I don't think it's a good idea like to be like to hard sell or so. I think it's the most important thing is like to be laid back, build really trust with the patients. The most important thing is to do the consult while doing the treatment on the same time. Stay in the room, right? Build the trust with them, connect with them, get to know their life story, present like a really good offer for them, and then like everything else becomes a lot easier.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. Let me see if I got anything else I wanted to go over on. Again, I know you've been with this Medspa for 7 years, like the one you have right now, right? Like you started like that location 7 years ago.
This location. So we moved from another smaller
Yeah.
location 4 years ago, just starting our
Okay.
fourth year here. So yeah.
Okay. Oh wow. Well, but same business. So yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Anything else, like any other tips you learned in these 7 years, Colleen, that you wish you knew 7 years ago that you want to share with like other Medspa owners, things like about
Uh
like hiring, maybe about hiring, training, anything, you know?
the biggest thing I learned was not to go get too much too fast. So once we got the contouring treatment going and that exploded, then I was like, oh my gosh, well, every machine must bring in this much money. And I spent a lot of money on a lot of machines that I just ended up selling. So, which is also not easy to sell them. So I,
Yeah.
I would, find your niche, find something that works for you,
Mm-hmm.
drive that because I was also trying to drive and promote 15 services and
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really promoting any of them well. So, find one thing that is really your unique thing and then other things that kind of fit into it as you go along. Um, you don't have to do it all at once. That was my biggest
Mm-hmm.
mistake. So I did that and then I backed way off and just focused on the body contouring, and now can start adding little things here and there
Mm-hmm.
that complement that. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be my suggestion.
Awesome. I appreciate you sharing that, and I do agree with you. Like, I feel like as long as you have enough treatment rooms, we can help you scale to like $500,000 a month or even more with just the body contouring. We can literally just focus like on one thing. I really believe the riches is in the niches. And if you get really good at one thing, you can just really double down on that. And then if you want, you can add more stuff that complement it. But it's okay to have
Mhm.
like this as like your main core offer, or the main core service you focus
Absolutely.
on.
Yep,
Yeah.
for
Awesome.
sure.
Any other tips you want to share or
I think we covered most of it. Yeah,
Okay,
I think I'm good.
awesome.
Yeah.
And to summarize, Colleen, how's been your experience with Bluefer so far?
Honestly, great. I've worked with a lot of marketing people, from good to horrible. And I will say you guys have been fantastic. You're, responsive when I need something. You've been very helpful. You do different types of calls to see what else we can do differently to improve even more. So it's been a really, really positive experience, and I would recommend it to anybody.
Awesome, awesome. I appreciate it. And what would you say to somebody who's like on the fence or maybe like on the fence or working with Bluefer?
I was there too. I was on the fence, and one of my girlfriends was using you guys and said, "Trust me, you will not regret it. You will be filled right up." And she was not wrong. So give it a try. I haven't known anybody yet that they haven't worked for. So definitely, definitely give it a try.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Colleen. Again, I really, really appreciate you as a client, and also I really appreciate your time for jumping on this call with me and sharing all of your strategies. I really want to help like our other clients, as much as possible. So I always like to try to get like as many gold nuggets from each one of our clients so we can share it with everybody. So thank you so much. Any
You're
final
welcome.
words? Any final words or advice for anybody else in the industry?
No, I would just say give it a shot. You won't regret it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Colleen. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.